I'm coming back.
I always come back. I'll be there when you need me most, when you're lost and alone, when you're in distress, when the day seems bleak and the night never ends. I'll be your friend when there's no one else, and I'll fight for you when hope is gone. I'll hold your hand till the light fades. Save your life, then save the day. Because I'm the Doctor, and it's what I do.
Hey everyone, Gallifrey Forever 97, and welcome to today's video when we're reviewing the second Ninth Doctor box set from Big Finish, and this is Doctor Who Respond to All Calls. So these are just 3 new adventures. Because I just got around to reviewing it, I've actually managed to have the physical copy. The last one, for example, I reviewed it when I didn't have the physical CD. Obviously, you get the digital download when you get a CD copy anyway from Big Finish. So yeah, it's nice to have this in hand now. So 3 stories we've got for this is Girl Deconstructed by Lisa McMullin. We've got Fright Motif by Tim Foley. And finally, Plant at the End by Timothy X. Atack. So compared to the first one, this follows a more traditional structure. So the first one, Ravagers, which was written by Nicholas Briggs, it was all one story across 3 episodes. And this is 3 different stories across the 3 episodes. And it also follows the tradition which I believe was probably set up by Rusty Davis, and we kind of still get it now with most series for Doctor Who, where you kind of have the past, present and future story. That's what usually occurs at the start of each season. You'll get a variety of each just to kind of show what Doctor you can do. So start with the first story, Girl Deconstructed by Lisa McMullin. The Doctor gets a distress call from someone called Marnie who has disappeared, but she's never left the house. The Doctor finds out with DC Jane Lee that this happened to countless teenagers all on the same night. Together they must find out where they've gone and how they can get them back. This story feels very much like it could be dropped right into the 2005 Series 1 series of the Ninth Doctor. It's very much a Rusty Davies-esque story, putting focus on the human drama and the characters, and the aliens being more of the background, not lessening them, but kind of putting the human emotions and the drama to the forefront. On the surface you think it's going to be like a ghost story, but it's got some very unique ideas, really, really cool. Kind of Doctor Who, like the sort of norm becoming the scary, kind of doing like twists on the conventional styles of a ghost story. At the heart of it, you've got the bond between Marnie and her dad, which if that failed, it wouldn't work. But obviously, great acting and great writing really prevail this. They kind of leave on bad terms and they have an argument. Kind of things that you kind of wish you didn't say, or you never want to kind of leave on a bad thing, and that happens with them. And there's a great situation. I don't really kind of go into like story details because I want to kind of give as spoiler-free as possible. But there's a point where she can basically hear what he's saying. Like, he obviously thinks she's gone and she might not be coming back. She can hear him, but she can't respond, like physically say, I'm here, don't worry, I'm sorry, da da da. It's very heartbreaking to listen to because you're like, oh my god, this is like such a horrible situation. That miscommunication thing runs throughout this story. It's kind of like not saying something to someone before it's too late. They obviously believe with them two, it could be the last time that they ever speak to each other. It is a theme because the aliens, how they get into the story, why they're taking the teenagers, is a form of miscommunication as well. So it does have a through line. So about the Doctor and kind of look at the grander scale, primarily focused on Marina and her dad, but obviously there has been loads of other stuff. So DC Jane Lee is like the temporary companion for the story with the Doctor. She's a really strong character. There's some really great moments of her trying to grasp what the Doctor's life is. Like every time he's like, oh, she's going to go on the TARDIS, and she's like, wait, hang on, hold on, let me just try and process this. Some very funny moments. We do get to see another victim of this thing, that's all I'll say. He has a personal connection to her from like her past. And it's kind of like a foreshadowing of if they don't fix this situation with all the other teenagers and Marina. It does rank up the stakes, being like, if you don't fix this, this is what will happen. The plot is very easy to follow. It's got a lot of intrigue, like it's a really good mystery. And it's not, again, not lessening the story, but it allows for the soap opera drama, allow the characters to like breathe and for the listener to attach them, so we're emotionally invested in the stakes of the story. Really cool ideas, there's kind of twists and turns throughout, but I think what sells the story, I think one of the most memorable stories from this set is the human level drama, and that's what's so great. It riveting off like the Rusty Davis vibes. So yeah, it's probably the closest we've got to a Rusty Davis Night of Doctor TV story in here. The second story is Fright Motif by Tim Foley. So this follows Artie Berger, who's a talented musician who's just lost his mojo for reasons which may be revealed later on. He's been followed by a mysterious monster connected to sound. The Doctor, along with Archie's friends, Morrissey and Zazie, they need to outrun and stop the creature. The set of his story is Paris, 1946, so just after World War II's finished up. So, you know, there's still rationing and there's kind of a bit of hopefulness because obviously that is finished and it's kind of like where all the sort of people go. And so I'll say it's snowy landscape, it's December. You get these really beautiful images in your head, added as well with the amazing sound design. An atmosphere like the crunching of the snow and all that stuff. Really, really good, very atmospheric. So you get some kind of really beautiful things of describing, like for example, like a church they go to and how glistening it is and all that stuff. Yeah, so you get some really great visuals as well because there's a lot of like action set pieces in this one. A lot of them sort of based just running from this creature. Similar to the previous stories, a lot of kind of like personal tragedy. This time more focused on like grief and depression and mental health. One of the highlight scenes for me is when all the main characters are hiding from the creature. And some of them have been kind of bickering one another, but they open up and open up their personal struggles. They kind of like mend their relationship. So it really does send an important message about sort of talking to one another, like talking about your struggles. And yeah, it's a really key thing for mental health. Also, the story is connected with sound. Is very much a mindless beast. There's not much more to it than that. As this story gave me vibes of The Whispers of Terror, which was a Sixth Doctor and Perry Big Finish story, which was the villain entirely made like in sound, like it lived in sound. There was no like visual representation of it apart from the sound. This is a visual monster creature, but I felt like it was in the same vein, and it's a perfect thing to obviously do with an audio drama to have this in. There's really stories where it really proves how powerful music can be and what impact it can have, like, you know, how it can represent a certain emotion or it can change a mood. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable historical. It's kind of got emotion, heart, humour. And you can tell Christopher Eccleston, because I've seen him talk on sort of stuff before, he has a real passion for music. I think in behind the scenes thing, he does say he doesn't really watch TV, he just listens to music to like change a mood and stuff like that. And when he describes like the power of music and how much it can affect a person with like the plot on that, you can really tell that's Eccleston pushing his love, like his personal love through the performance. So it's good that one of his passions has been able to kind of reach into the set. The next story in the set with Macbeth, I believe. Obviously, I think he did a performance of that. It's cool that they've kind of said, what would you like to do? So he's on, I like music, do that a story. I did Macbeth, put that in a story. And finally, we have Planet of the End by Timothy X. Atack. So the Doctor arrives on Akusus, a Mosselian planet of ancient and sacred graves of higher life forms. The Doctor is assisted by an artificial intelligence called Fred, who must go against a big threat of the villainous incorporation. If this story was in the Eccleston TV series on screen, it would have stuck out like a sore thumb. I think that series, they were trying to keep it very grounded, not kind of going on these massive like alien weird ideas, science stuff. I think it's trying to keep it very grounded. This one, they just pushed the boat out. It's got some really grand, imaginative ideas of this like different society and how this kind of world works. Because it's quite funny, because when you see the cover, it's like, oh, why is there a bunny on there, all that stuff, and you're like, ah, okay, cool. Bunny is quite important. But I said it has like a lot of high concepts which wasn't seen in the Ninth Doctor series anywhere on TV. Like later on in the later series, when they kind of established themselves a bit more, you could do stuff like this. But there again, this, because it's such a high imaginative world, I don't think it is something you could visually do on screen. Literally like a movie level budget. Kind of give me series finale vibes of Last of Time Lords and Heaven Sent. The story goes on quite a long period of time, and it is a mental and physical battle for the Ninth Doctor to get through this. So we've got Fred the AI, who's like his assistant for this story. They're a really good thing to summarise like the events of what's happening, make the story go faster a bit more, and keeps you grounded, being like, oh okay, right, this is what's going on, right, okay, this is what I need to know. She has also a lot of heart and humour to the story, like seeing her reactions and sort of wants to be a real person, like, you know, trying to break away from the AI program, being like, I'm not just a robot. The connection this has to the Ninth Doctor run on TV is the theme of like money, greed, corporations. Like you find a lot of the stories in series one, a lot of the villains are doing it for money, like Cassandra, the Savine. The Doctor's given some really like heroic and epic moments. It's shown like the rage side of the Doctor as well, some great moments of that. It's a story which is very, very focused on this has happened because of the Time War. I won't say more than that, but it's cool to get that connection. It's been kind of kept away, I guess, and it's not really done properly here, but certain stuff has happened because of the Time War. Like if the Time War didn't happen, this probably wouldn't have happened. It's one of those stories that I probably would need to listen again. Like the other two were pretty straightforward, but because it's got a lot to kind of set up with the world building and the big like science ideas, very much like Douglas Adams. Actually, I was thinking that like really imaginative writing. But it's a great epic way to end this box set. Grand, massive ideas and a lot of like heroic and brilliant moments for the Doctor. And also, like I felt with DC Jane Lee in the first story, Fred the AI would have loved to have seen join the Ninth Doctor on Adventures. It's great because you just think, oh, I wish you could just say, oh, come on, let's do it, like, and just see where the character goes. There's a lot of times with Doctor Who that happens and you think, oh, that would have been great if that character could have like gone off the Doctor, but we're waiting for Rose. And obviously the post-Time War. So my overall thoughts on the box set. Yeah, really solid set of stories. I preferred this format to the last one. I think the new guest writers all have done an amazing job, all kind of fitting in with the themes of the first series, like the human drama, which was you know, one of the focuses, like the Rusty Davis and Ninth Doctor era, like focus on the human drama rather than making the alien stuff like focused. And but then you also get these like, obviously the final one, these like mad spacey wacy sciencey worlds which you wouldn't see in the Ninth Doctor TV stuff anyway. Maybe if he did a second series you might have done, but obviously the first series it was very grounded, like stuck in a space station, or it didn't go to like, any other worlds in that series. But I think Eccleston was amazing. I think this time he probably had more confidence, and obviously not to say that the first one was like lesser, but I feel this one he's just kind of like raising up and going up and up and being like, yeah, I can do this now, I'm really enjoying it. You tell he's loving every second of it, and obviously he's enjoying the scripts and he's loving being the character, and he has a great supporting cast. Yeah, it's just a really enjoyable listen. And you know, obviously got a soft spot for like 2005, the Eccleston era. Like a lot of people obviously got into the show, obviously the relaunch of the show, and this is like, it's his imaginary series 2, even though it's obviously before series 1. It's cool to give the Ninth Doctor more opportunities and different stories. It's great as well to give Eccleston an opportunity to play a Doctor again. I think in past interviews he said how he would have done like the comedy differently, and there's definitely these stories anyway, a lot of like comedic moments which are hilarious. So that's my review of the Ninth Doctor Adventures Volume 2, Respond to All Calls. Have you listened to the box set yet? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, I'm very looking forward to the next one because it does feature the Ninth Doctor and a Cyberman. So I'm very, very excited for that. It's the only Doctor to not face a Cyberman. The other one was John Pertwee, but obviously they've rectified that Big Finish, and now Big Finish, our saviours, are now doing it for the Ninth Doctor, so I'm ecstatic about that one. I think the one after that's also doing like the Brigadier as well. Obviously not Nicholas Courtney because he passed away, but John Coleshaw, who does really good impressions. It feels like some very fan-pleasing moments are gonna come, but as I say, we've got this one. We've got some really solid stories, very memorable kind of like human drama and spacey wacy stuff. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.